Welcome everyone to episode 47 of the Video Game Book Club. I'm Tabimura, and today I am joined by Tailman, Genji, Nakuso, and Soul. Say hello, everyone.
Hello,
What's
everyone.
up? Everyone, hello.
Hi.
What up? So this time around, we're going to be focusing on Street Fighter 6. This game was nominated by me, and it was selected very fairly on the Wheel of Mystery with a 1 out of 2 chance, or 50% chance of winning. We won it fairly. I just gotta put a little asterisk. Street Fighter 6 was developed and published by Capcom and was originally released on June 2nd, 2023 for PS4, PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. On the Street Fighter 6 official website, it reads, quote, "With Street Fighter 6, players will be able to take their skills around the world in search of their own personal strength. No one starts off as a champion. Even the strongest of fighters had to take that first step. Now it's your turn to take up the challenge and bring your game to the next level." But that's how the website describes the game. How would everyone here describe the game? And the order of presenting will be Tailman, Genji, Nakuso, Soul, and then Tabimura. And please be advised, there may be spoilers ahead. With that said, let's get started. Question 1. Describe the game in 1 sentence.
This will get you in trouble.
All right, do it. Yes,
All right.
please.
This is the perfect game for you. If you had to beat one out, play Street Fighter 6.
If you had to beat one out,
Yep. Play Street Fighter 6.
Wait, did you just say beat?
did you just say
Hold up.
beat?
Whoa! I said beat.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
If you had to beat one out, play Street Fighter 6. That's the perfect game for that.
All right. Okay.
Next.
Beneath the chiseled abs and strong, muscly thighs, the game has so much to offer. The game being Street Fighter 6, but on your quest for power and strength, maybe the true strength is uninstalling the game.
Dang.
Street Fighter 6 is a bundle of love and care put into a franchise with the most feature-rich and accessibility to the fighting game genre. Next.
Street Fighter 6. What is strength? Well, strength can probably take on is an answer that no one has come up with officially. So you have to find your own strength and improve it to the world. Next.
I'm with Soul. Street Fighter 6 is a fighting game that has taught me to question, what is strength? My friends, is it the ability to dominate all online opponents in ranked? Is it possessing a strong mental fortitude and no nut November? Or is it simply not using any items on the final chapter of Street Fighter 6 World Tour because you're not a scrub? I have no idea, like Soul. But you know what? It's definitely a question in this game that will be answered next. Question 2. What platform did you play the game on, and briefly describe your playstyle towards the game?
Alrighty, I played this game on Steam on PC using a controller, not keyboard and mouse, thankfully.
Mhm.
And my style was basically Luke through and through, all the way.
Wait, through and through?
Through and through.
Alright.
The only times I had to use a different style was when it was required for the mission, so you could learn how to switch your styles and do a few missions. But other than that, I went right back to Luke. So
All right.
yeah, Luke all the way, my boy.
Your boy.
He likes wacky T-shirts, plays PC games, and all that, so I like it.
I'm a true gamer.
The true gamer. All right, next.
So my playstyle of the game was on the PlayStation 5. I bought the game physically, and I used my release day white PlayStation 5 controller.
Oh.
I was playing as Luke, Zinj play style-wise throughout the game. However, after playing with Nikutsu online and playing as Blanca, I realized that I liked throwing giant balls around the screen, up and down, all over the enemy's face. So I built up my relationship with Blanca, learnt his skills, went through the game that way. My custom character was a tall, big, as possible breasted woman.
Mm-hmm.
Played a chunk of the game with the rip-off Blanca costume because Blanca stan for life.
All right.
And played that for most of the time. Then, right near the end of chapter 15, I realized it was a steaming disaster, so I attached some Hadoukens and cheesed the game as much as possible that way.
Okay.
So the way I played this game, I played the game. I bought this both on PC and PS5. I used I double dipped in this game, which is really rare for me to do.
Okay.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I used a PS5 controller in World Tour mode while also using my Snapbox Micro XL specifically.
Sounds like you're sponsored.
What? No?
Referral link in the description box below.
Affiliate link in the
Uh,
description.
So yeah, I used both of those controllers. The way that I played the game is a pretty good divide. It was like 20 hours in training, 20 hours offline, then it took me like 20 hours to complete World Tour mode. I made my character thick with the thighs and behind. Yep. Have my characters
Respect.
I have my character's eyes covered, to add to that mystique.
Classic. Not so special.
All right.
And then for most of the game, I did actually a lot of different outfits. I had like gear sets and just played around with a lot of stuff. Pretty much did I would say like 60% of the side stuff, and because I was just having a blast with just going around the world and seeing all the references to like past Capcom games, a lot of deep cuts and actual like characters from the Street Fighter or Final Fight and like other stuff related to fighting games, just like in that whole world that you can just find. And just like it was just like great to see each like character, especially like the masters fleshed out. So according to what I done for most of the game, of course, you start out with Luke. I used Luke for a bit. My main character that I used in terms of like the master was Manon.
Ah, the ballerina.
Yeah. And in terms of like my moveset, I use like DJ's fireballs. I gotta have those double fireballs because a computer doesn't know what to do.
Jeez.
I used
One of
Ken's
those.
uppercut for a while, so I just messed around for like a lot of different special moves to see what I could create. I create some pretty vile stuff with some combinations. Computer's like, oh god, they don't know what to do. It's pretty funny. I don't know. I just enjoyed all of that, and I don't know. It was just like extremely fun going through with the. It was kind of weird because this game using the PS5 controller, like you could just tell like this was definitely made more for
Console.
the D-pad, yeah. But it was nice that they allowed you to plug in your arcade stick or Snapbox or what other peripheral to play along with the controller as well. So both work at the same time. And that's pretty much what I did. I looked at all the features, animations, and verses and character select, just like admiring all the adaptive music and all that stuff. But that is pretty much it. I mean, I did more, but I don't want to keep going on.
Okay.
So let's move up to you, Soul. How about you?
Well, I played this on the PS4 with the controller, and I'm I'm glad that my controllers did not break before my hands did. So, and for my play style, I do sometimes go a bit more aggressive when going close quarters, but if the enemy is like grabbing me a lot or like hitting me hard, I try to go back and play a little bit of range using one of the range attacks, like what was it called? What's that called? What's that move?
Hadouken.
Let me search that up. No, it's not Hadouken. It's
Yoga Fire.
it's Air Slasher.
Oh, Air
No,
Slasher.
Air Slasher.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I do the overdrive art on it, it stuns them, but it also takes out some of my stamina bars. So that's like a double-edged sword if I use it too much. And mostly for my master moveset, I'm kind of adaptive, but so far I'm in between Ken and Cammys. Though I think I'm more of a Ken player since I'm trying to play more aggressive
Mhm.
at times. So yeah, next.
Okay, I played on the PS5 and rotated between 3 different PS5 controllers so I could really maximize my gameplay with no downtime. I finished World Tour mode around the 20-hour mark, and I was level 53 by the end with maxed out Blanca-chan armor because Blanca-chan is the best Rainforest guide and is the cutest mascot in the world because he won the Mascot Grand Prix. So it's official that he's cute.
You use the armor too?
Yeah.
You use the costume as well?
Because he's cute.
Nice.
I need everyone to remember that. Blanca-chan is cute, right?
Whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. No, he's not.
Yeah.
Fails.
Other than that, I was like, yeah. Woo. I played and finished World Tour mode using a 2B character recipe by J_Zoldic, code LYVSBYF9P, if you're interested. Playing her was not only visually satisfying, but it also really made me feel like I want to play Nier Automata. Future VGBC? I don't know, maybe. For my fighting style, I did a sample of each of the master's sets of skills and attacks, but ultimately I kind of ended up rolling with Chun-Li as my sensei, as I suspected that would probably be the best way to get crushed by her big, massive, thick, yet respectable skills. I mainly focused on like the main missions in World Tour mode. I dabbled a bit here and there, like on the side missions, did some odd job mini games to make, the fat stacks of Zenny. And in addition to World Tour mode, I got my ass handed to me by Nakaso in the fighting hub, and I played a few of the traditional arcade modes or the campaigns in the fighting grounds, those little 8-round gameplay, the classic little story at the end. So yeah, that was my play style. Let's move on to question 3. What is one thing you like about the game?
All right. So one thing I liked about the game. Oh my gosh, there's a lot to go over. I just have to pick one though.
You only get one, baby.
I love how they approach the game and its story. When I think of a fighting game story, it's usually the whole like you got a preset sort of, I guess,
8 rounds.
8 rounds, right? Or something. 4
7
or 5,
rounds.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then at the end is like the super hard boss already. I'm like, and then you finish it, you get a cutscene, cool. And
30
then you do that for all the
seconds.
characters, you get the story. Here, I was expecting that, but nah. They made it entirely where you make your own character, and what I liked about that is, well, I'm pretty sure someone else might touch up on it, but it's how they approached it, because it's your avatar, but you could choose and mix different skills from other fighters, and then that's its own thing. Maybe someone else will touch on, but my what I liked is it's an open world adventure.
Mm-hmm.
And it has fighting game elements to it. And then sometimes when there's like multiple enemies coming at once, it kind of feels like a little bit like a homage to those old beat 'em up games that appear from the right of the screen and then you can continue. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. They made this time around it's an open world adventure where you can, take side quests, main missions, interact with some of the people. You can literally fight anyone. I threw hands with a cop. I was like, this is weird, but I ain't complaining.
Hey, he accepted.
Yeah, they accepted. I pressed X. I'm like, all right, we fight now. So I loved it, and I actually spent a lot more time than I thought I would, going around trying to find those little boxes to get open, to get the little thingies, or breaking the boxes open when you get your first master skill.
Mm-hmm.
Going around exploring. Yeah, and I just loved how lively it felt. Like it felt like an actual little city where everyone's ready to throw hands, but also chill at the same time. So that was cool. I loved it. I love Metro City.
I love Metro City. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's why I like the open world aspect to a fighting game that I've never seen before.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Now, next.
No.
So,
What's up?
for myself, there's a lot of content in Street Fighter 6. I think they've done an amazing job at that, and anyone who plays the game would recognize there is an insane amount of quality content in the game. However, I'd like to touch on netcode, and the thing for myself is living in Australia, we're a lot more isolated to the rest of the world compared to America and Europe and all those sort of bigger demographics and locations and that. I got the opportunity to play against Nakutsu online. I like to think I didn't do too badly. He did kick my ass quite a few times. but through the Blanca balls on the screen, it went well. But the thing that was even better than the Blanca balls was the netcode. I feel I'll let you chime in a sec, Kutsu, about it because I feel like you might share the same opinion about it. Is that I was playing off of Wi-Fi. I didn't have a wired connection. Where I'm living now, we've got a much better internet plan than what I did previously. But I found the netcode to be really smooth, and there weren't too many issues. There were a few moments of slowdown, usually in the beginning, and there was one match that was a bit more jittery. But I found overall the game handled Wi-Fi netcode across the other side of the world really, really well, and it made it a lot more enjoyable to play. The downside is it's a lot harder to, in ranked and casual, find people to fight online. The game doesn't want to match me up to people overseas. So there's just the Australian players, and I found that I was playing against 2000 LP players while I was 1000 LP and holding my own. So there's that disparity between the amount of players and the connectivity, but regardless, I found the netcode to be really well implemented. Feel like you share the same opinion, Nikitsu, or
Oh yeah, I found that this is, in my opinion, the best fighting game netcode, which is so funny because Street Fighter V actually made rollback the it made it like really bad. So a lot of people it had this bad stigma, even though like games before it, like Killer Instinct and Skullgirls had amazing netcode. But they did a 180 pretty much for this, and it was great. I was actually shocked that it ran so well, like considering you're on across the road and on Wi-Fi, and it's very playable still. I actually find that insane because I have never seen that good before when like playing across the road.
yeah. And I would have no issue if there was an option to select whether to fight people across the world. I would have no issue doing that because I found it to be really well handled and implemented. I think they've done an amazing job, and it definitely made the experience a lot more enjoyable. So, Hadouken to you, Nikitsu.
All right, so one thing that I liked about this game is the drive rush system. This drive rush system, or the drive system in general, is just like one of the most fun fighting game mechanics that I played like in the last 7 years. It's just like so well done, and you can just tell that the developers really took a lot of time to put all of this together. Because with drive rush and being able to cancel your normal attacks, mostly your normals, into like different routes, it just opens up a lot of player expression, which is one thing over the last 6 years that started with Street Fighter V, what they took away. And then it's like Street Fighter V is like this game, like Street Fighter, like the series, when it comes to like, traditional games. A lot of other games kind of follow in the footsteps, and unfortunately, Street Fighter V kind of took away a lot of the player expression.
Yeah.
And like took away the tools from a lot of characters. And they made it easier, but also harder at the same time, because when stuff is more limited, you're kind of just set on that one path. But with this, they brought a lot of stuff back, with the moves and everything. Like the characters in this game have the most tools they've ever had, like in the whole series. So just the way that the drive impact feels when you hit someone or when you counter someone with it, just that sound. It gives me,
God, so
dopamine.
satisfying.
It gives me
Yeah.
dopamine. It's like that. And then it's like when you get hit, oh God, it's horrible. It's still cool.
Still cool though.
Because
Dying
it's like,
style.
because you still, you messed up.
Mhm.
And then, like dry parry, of course, it has that cool sound effect.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of visual flair of the system, which they did not have in a lot of previous games. This one, not only is it just like fun to play, like all these mechanics put together, it gives each character their own approach with their different tool sets, and how they play against each matchup is always going to be different. And then you have the overdrive. This is the first time in the series that your special moves. In the previous games, this was called the EX. So when you enhance your special attacks and all that, I like how they incorporated everything into this one bar, like 6 pips at the top. So at the start of the game, if you want to burn yourself out, you can. If
Just
you wanna
go in.
if you want to conserve yourself, you can. You have access to all of that. And a lot of other fighting games, you kind of have to just build up to get that meter.
Mhm.
From here, you have 5 different mechanics that you can use
Right off
at
the
the
bat.
start if you want, and you just go out of your way. And that's like not even counting like the 3 different supers for each character. So it's just like,
Man.
dude, this drive system, and then the way it burns out, and then the cool thing, it's like every character that's burned out from previous Street Fighter games have a pose like akin to one of like the classic Street Fighter games. So the 8 World Warriors, all their classic idle stances in burnout mode is actually from their normal stances in Street Fighter 2, which is cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then all the animations change, like if they're blocking and burnout, and depending on like, oh my, it's like so much with this system, and like just like the small details with everything and how it plays, and it's just super addicting too. It's like I just can't say like more enough about
That
this
dopamine
system. It's so different. Like everything like out of it, it's just great. Perfect parry. When you get a perfect parry, the screen
Oh
freezes.
man, yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's so
I was
beautiful.
a few times and it zooms in. It has that like super.
Yeah,
like,
Gilly did it
crazy-
to me in an online match.
It's like, God, I'm such a
Man,
badass.
it's like every time that happens, man, it's just like you just feel like dopamine.
Dopamine.
Yeah, and it's just curious to see, like, I watched different play styles from everyone else, and definitely everyone played differently, which is awesome to see. And it's just like fun. It's just like fun to see like this system in tournaments has like been great so far, and I'm just curious to see how it develops over the years and what they add to the system. Because this is crazy, like all this stuff. Usually, like all this stuff is like by the end of a life cycle of a game, but this is like literally at the start.
Wow,
of the
good
initial
job,
game.
Street
So
Fighter.
it's just, yeah, awesome. So that is it for me. How about you, So?
There's 2 things I like about this. One is like creating your own fighting style or with your own moves from other masters, and the way how you like engage with a fight, and it's just like, oof, I don't know which one to pick.
I'm taking the second one. Don't you dare take it.
Oh wait, what was this? What is it for the second one?
Some drama.
I'm gonna go. I'm doing. You know what I'm picking, Soul. You already know what I'm gonna pick.
Oh, is it the fight? Is it the
Yeah.
Take it.
Okay.
Make him suffer. No, it's good. Don't do that.
Okay.
I'll do the character
So-
one. Do the character one. There, that's a good one. That's a nice, safe one.
Okay,
if
so
you could choose.
yeah. Okay. So that's what. Okay. Now I remember. Okay. So the character, like, you can really like mash up different kinds of moves that you really like from other characters, and it makes you feel like your own unique character in a way. Like, if you're more like a kicking person, like more of a kicking person, you just like go with any kind of those kicking arts,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're like more of the range person, but like a glass cannon range kind of way,
Mhm.
you don't have that many. You like more focused on like range attacks more than close quarter combat kind of person. I'm pretty sure people would be upset if you're going like a Ness style character at that point.
The spammer.
Yes, I can see that right now. And
I can
and it's
imagine.
just like, yeah, and just like you have to go with these certain masters of these Street Fighter characters to go for, just to fit your own characters you made. Oh, I really love it. It's just there's like so many things I want to try out with these moves that can actually fit my character, and it's just like, God,
Like that freedom.
where do I begin? Where do I start? Which one do I want to use?
What is
Which
strength?
can I beat the crap out of people? I think that's the greatest answer. Strength is how you create your own path.
Dang.
Just-
That's deep.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. It's just God. This is like this is like an artist. If an artist plays like an open world fighting game, this seems like a good place. This seems like a good one to start off on.
Oh yeah.
I can just imagine myself right now looking in front of these Street Fighter characters in which movesets I want to use. I'm like, God, okay, so you do this, maybe I can use that for something I want to use. It's just like I'm having like a little bit of an overload on what I want to use for these characters, these moves.
You have so
I'm
much
still having
options.
this struggle.
Yeah.
But it's just
So
it
good.
takes a lot to find out what you want. Oh man, and I'm still trying to find the other masters so I can learn what they can do. Jeez,
That's definitely a good sign, though, if you're that engaged with the customization.
Yep, especially when you like customize your own outfits and stuff, just to make you feel who you want to be too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, ooh, open world games, Street Fighter 6. You're giving me this power. Oh boy, I can't. I don't know where to start, man. Just why did you give me this power to go forward with this? Are you sure you want me to do this?
Yes, sir.
God, that's how I feel right now, man.
Okay.
Anyways, next.
Man. Oh, God, it's easy. I mean, World Tour mode, of course, but specifically this feature that I never thought I would ever see again. The ability to literally fight and challenge almost anyone and anything on the map. My God. Literally anything. Now, this is something, if you guys know me, that is it's something that I haven't seen in a game since Radiata Stories on the PS2. And that was back in 2005, like over 100 years ago. I'm ancient now. So imagine, like, the moment I realized that this is an in-game feature in this game, I just had like this big stupid grin on my face like the moment I discovered it. Like it was, God, it was awesome. Like it doesn't matter if it's like your local hot dog food truck man, a masked superhero on top of a building, or a freaking overpriced Roomba. Like if that person or thing had a name above its head with a level indicator, you could fight them on the streets, maybe in the sheets, but it doesn't really matter. Because in all seriousness, it's like, wait, hold on. It was a joke. Okay, be serious. I absolutely, like I said, I freaking love this mechanic, you guys. Like knowing that I had the ability to just fight practically almost anyone in the game, even people who were clearly higher level than me, it was awesome. Like just having that option, having that freedom, knowing that I could shove my fist into their face and just start a brawl, start a fight in the streets. It was amazing. And it was a great way to see all the different like masters fighting styles too, without actually going up against them. Oh, and then the freaking icing on the cake, just when I thought it wouldn't get any better, seeing that the crowds would actually gather as your match progresses.
That was so cool.
And seeing those same people who were in the crowd be there at the end of the fight, dispersing after the match was over, and you could actually fight the crowd that was for me. Was like,
I was surprised. I think
dude,
that crowd was like not like just
like some random crowd, right?
Background.
No, the game was smart. It knew what NPCs were nearby and would actually, I don't know what kind of voodoo magic they did, but it would actually get them to join in and look at the fight. And then right after you're done beating up that person, you could beat up the next person. It was great. Like, it's just, I don't know, like this feature was so much fun. It's really these small things that like really make me want to punch my fridge, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Like it is such an amazing game feature. I'm so happy. Like I saw it happen in another game. Again, 2005 was the last time I saw it. So I really hope they continue to expand on this and build upon it more, because man, it's just such a great feature. Yeah. That's me. That's me gushing over that feature. Let's go ahead and move on to question 4. What is one thing you did not like, and how would you improve it?
All right. So if there's one thing I had to think for a second what it would be, I think the only thing that it's not even that I liked, it's just I noticed, but even that still didn't really, that didn't really impede my enjoyment, was occasionally how the AI opponents would sometimes just be weird at times. It's kind of hard to explain it, but at one point, the same level enemy at one point doesn't know how to block. And next thing you know, they're doing perfect blocks every time. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Even though they're like the same level from like, I don't know, 15 from a while back. Or they'll just freaking, what's it called? Just gang up when you, I don't know where. I'm like, oh, what happened? Like they'll surround you from both sides or something. But then they just do the most weirdest things at times. But I don't. I can't really think
similar
of
to people online.
Yeah.
Turn it on.
I can't. I can't think of anything I really don't like. Actually, because it's I don't know.
It's okay.
This is hard. This is hard. Yeah.
What was like that? You just say next.
You know what? Yeah. I think the only time I don't like something. You know what? No. You know what I don't like? I hate that stupid fridge. That stupid fridge, dude. I swear. I actually legitimately a little angry at that fridge. Gets all smug standing there. I'm like, I hate these appliances so much. I hate the Roombas. I hate the attack drones. No, I just hate the fact whoever decided to add the Roombas and the fridges and drones. I swear,
Is a genius.
No, they ain't. They made me angry.
Tell me that's what happens.
I see that's a point.
I mean, can you blame the fridge though? Like you always put your hand inside it without its permission, so it's about time it rises up.
Do you think it's great though? The final chapter, as you get into the final
Yeah.
fight, all
Don't
the people
even
climbing, you've got the fridge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
the
scared.
fridge
I
was
was scared
there.
that
It's
fridge
like,
was gonna be an opponent.
yeah, I was like, don't. Thankfully, it wasn't. It was just there to watch. But it's like, oh my gosh.
Probably Bosch just like trashed that fridge already, just tossed out the arena right at that point. he did it for his safety. He did it for his sanity at this point.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I
the
knew
real
there's something
secret
I
ending.
disliked
Boss
about
fight
this
the
game.
fridge.
It was that stupid fridge, dude. And it was part of a mission too. And it was like Ryo's headband. I'm like, oh my god. There we go. That's the only thing I genuinely didn't like about this game was those stupid appliances. The fridge, the drones, and the freaking Roomba thingies.
Roombas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting triggered. Okay, anyways. Yeah, that's it. Next.
So how would you fix it? Just remove them?
No, keep them in. If I suffer, someone else has to suffer too.
Okay, so don't remove them.
Fair enough.
Let them combine.
Oh no, it's gonna be a freaking Megazord.
Dude, it was already bad enough.
Megazord, man.
It was already bad enough. Some of the Roombas would imitate some of the fighting styles of other fighters, like for example, Blanca. They could shock you, or or I think it was Cammy or Yuri, or where they'll just like spin at you. I'm like, what is this?
It's AI learning.
It's out of nowhere. I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, no. If there's one thing I didn't like, it was just those appliances enemies, but you could easily dodge them. So it's not too bad, but if they end up showing in a fight where you fight someone on the street, you'll be like, oh, all right. It's going to be one of those matches, especially the one that poisons you by just bombs you and poisons you, and then like runs away like a little wuss, like when you try to hit him. Like, oh my god, just stay still so I can kill you. So, oh my goodness, yeah. That's one thing I don't like about the game. But that's more of just a nitpicky than anything. But yeah.
Okay.
Next.
All right,
Well,
Kenji.
before I get into the thing I didn't like because it's going to take a while, but hey man, don't you just love the idea that you have like a Roomba or a fridge walk up to one of the Street Fighter masters like to be trained, and you can just see Blanca or Ryo whether just training a fridge in how to fight?
Yeah, I was like, oh god, I'm gonna have to fight you now too. It's like, oh, here we go.
Okay. So, look, before I get into my negative, because it's going to be extremely nitpicky, I want to say that there is an insane amount of content. I think they've done an amazing job with that, and I really do appreciate how they try to do a story mode a lot more in depth. I think for their first attempt, I think it's a really strong foundation to see what will come through Street Fighter 7. So before I trash the story and Chapter 15, I just want to acknowledge that it is their first time doing it, and I do acknowledge that they haven't really done something like this before, so it's all a learning experience. However, let's get into this. Firstly, the fact that
He starts it with an apology. All right, go Genji, cook.
for the main mission, when you have to go from day to night, it's infuriating. You have to go back and forth to the house in order to change from day to night. I find that to be really tedious. I don't think there was really much of a need for that. It's just The story I feel is pretty dull. It's your generic, I want to be stronger. What is strength? Your rival within the first chapter is like, fuck you, I'm going to go and find my own power. I'm like,
Yeah,
cool. I barely know
I
you.
can see
I
that.
do not care what you're off to do, botch or whatever the crap your name is. I do not care. I do not really know you. And it's my issue that I take with like The Last of Us is when your spoilers.
Spoilers. Hold
when
up.
you're-
Which game is this?
Whoa. The
Last of
second or the
Us.
first?
First or second one?
First.
Okay, you're
The
fine.
good one or the bad
Ah.
one? Okay.
Okay, first one. Okay, go ahead, Genji.
In the first one, the issue, oh no, your daughter dies. I barely knew her. Where is the character development? The games are very good at throwing in things and going, you're expected to care about the fact that this person's off to do this or whatever. It's an introduced character. I barely know them. I don't really care. Go off and do whatever you want. I don't care. Chapter 5 is a disaster. It actively is the thing that ruined all my enjoyment for the game to the point that I traded in the game because I could not enjoy the online mode any longer because of the pain and torture of putting myself through chapter 15, which I never would have done. It's a 6-man gauntlet. You can lose the 5th fight. The rest of them you have to win. Is
Wait, you can lose?
infuriating
Okay.
because you can lose the
I'm just kidding.
5th
Sorry.
one. I know. It's infuriating because if you lose a single one, you have to start back from the beginning, but also you don't get your healing items back. So, get to the 4th fight, you've used all your healing items, start again from the beginning. The grind is a pain. All my money I used was to go towards healing items, and I had to use them throughout the fights. And the amount you get back through grinding is nothing compared to the cost of them. It's just not really well implemented. The items are expensive as fuck, and I had to use all my items for the final gauntlet. The final fight was also weird. He wasn't difficult. I would argue he was one of the easier fights out of all of them. The weird thing I found really weird was I was able to kick his ass down to 5% health. But suddenly he pulls some Broly Dragon Ball Z super crap, where all of a sudden, the more you beat his fucking ass, he becomes more and more powerful. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool, I got you down to 5% health. I will now use a healing item. Oh, cool, you've just perfect comboed me back down to no health. Let me use another healing item. You've perfect comboed me. It's like the more you beat his ass, not in a sexual way, the more you beat his ass, the stronger he gets, and it's some Broly crap. He is not a difficult fighter. For some reason, the more items you use against him and the more healing items, the more you punch him in the face, the more he punches you in the face more successfully. There is stupid chip damage against so many of those fighters, and it's frustrating. They can take you down to 1/3 of your health in a single hit, essentially, and yet your punching in that is single chip damage. It is frustrating. And the annoying thing is, I would have, for this game, I would have spent most of my time online. I would have beaten the sentient fridge or finished the first world tour. I'd be like, cool, this was an enjoyable experience. I'm going to stop now. I'm going to go and play online. But due to VGBC and having to play through the story in order to be part of it, it was just you playing the story mode was not an enjoyable experience. I do not think it was great. Also, they removed my favorite Vega, which bring back Vega. Hashtag Vega for life.
There you go.
And yeah, the good thing though was for chapter 15, if you go to lose a fight against any of them, you can quit the game, you can load it back up, and you can reattempt the fight like you never even bothered once. That is how I beat chapter 15. I was like, cool, I'm about to get my face punched in. Let me quit the game, let me reload it back up, and I will attempt it. It's the only way I was able to sit through chapter 15, and I was very glad to get my $54 back through EB Games when I traded that shit in. Off to you, Nikutsu.
Okay.
Well, how would I change it? How would I change it? If you lose in chapter 15 against one of them, you can reattempt that fight from that point onwards. You should not have to reattempt the 6-man gauntlet, which is
This is a
absolutely shit.
tournament. You don't.
Isn't there continue? I thought you have a continue.
Yeah, don't you have
You have
continues?
continues.
Yeah.
You have your retries,
Yeah.
but if you don't
Mhm.
have your retries, you have to start again from the beginning.
Did you use all your retries?
Did you run out of retries?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
Oh, you know what that sounds like? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
No,
you have
it's-
retries?
Huh. Hmm.
You get a lot if you do like
Just side quests. Yeah, or just
I had like
or
I had like
missions.
40 by the end.
I had like
Yeah,
I had
the
like
problem
30.
might have been the fact that I didn't do a huge amount of side content. My approach was the main story because for me, the world tour was okay, but for me, if I'm playing a fighting game, I want to fight people online. It's where I get my most enjoyment from. And I
Mhm.
don't because I found the story mode not to be all that engaging. Didn't really try much of the side missions on the basis that I wasn't really enjoying the world tour mode. So I didn't want to have to keep going through the side quests in order to just like I didn't want to keep playing the side quest because I felt like because I didn't want to be a reflection on the idea that the main story's bad. Didn't really want to subject myself to the side missions, if that makes sense. So that might be my own fault. If I played through side missions, I might have gone more retries. But honestly, I wasn't having a great deal of fun with the world tour past the first tournament to really want to sit through the side missions.
Okay.
Oh, that's understandable. And how did you grind? Did you grind? Did you play the mini games to get your money back?
I was spending a lot of my time fighting people on the streets. So I was.
Oh, that's the worst way to get money. You can actually
Yeah.
get money super quick. You
I
could get
found
like
there was some, I did do a few of the side like mini games sort of thing. But I'll be completely honest, I kind of forgot they existed later on into the game. I did more of that early on, and then I used
Mhm.
lots of my money to upgrade my clothing. And that's why I burnt through a lot of my money, so I didn't have the money to necessarily buy healing items. And then near the end of the game, because I was getting frustrated with the last few chapters, I just completely forgot that you could do the activities and that to
That's
get lots
That's
more
like the
money.
number one source of
Yeah.
money right there. The odd jobs.
You could get
Yeah.
100K if you did like the junkyard one. You could get 100K
That was my favorite,
in like
actually.
in like
Yeah,
10 minutes
Which if I
or five.
going back to it, if I'd realized that that existed, I remembered that existed, I would have gone back to do stuff like that to build up my money because that would have been a great source of money for healing items, which probably would have lessened my hatred for the game because of chapter 15 because I would have had
Mhm.
access to more healing items. I ultimately accept that my dislike for the game came from my approach to the playstyle for the world tour. But again, I would have stopped because I found the world tour to be painfully boring anyway. I probably would have stopped playing that quite early on, regardless.
Okay.
So,
Mhm. That's
Yeah.
fair enough.
so next.
So for me, one thing that I didn't like is this game looks amazing. Like you know when you're playing like versus mode and also in like pretty much anything.
Mhm.
But in World Tour during the daytime, the lighting and some of like like not the cutscenes. Cutscenes are great in terms of like the visuals too because they get the lighting right. But the lighting when you're just like talking to people at certain parts, this is like mostly just during the daytime. Is it's pretty rough in a lot of spots because it's like some of the NPCs like don't look great and like the
Yeah.
lighting they have. This is like during the daytime because at night like everything looks fine, but like during the daytime like just the lighting in the world could be a lot better. That's pretty much like one of the main things in terms of like the visuals of World Tour because like sometimes like ugh, I don't remember these characters looking as bad, but it's like then I remember oh hey, then you see daytime at Blanca's area and he looks fine because it's like the lighting is how it
Tuned
should
to
be.
that area.
Yeah, it's tuned, but like in World Tour, I know it's Yua, which is a Bosch's sister. I was like, man, that's cool. And just like after the cutscene, the initial cutscene, we meet her when when she's being chased and whatever. When you talk to her, her face looks like a horror movie. Like, ooh.
Really? I didn't even see that when I got to her.
Oh yeah, I'm very like when it comes to like animation or like lighting and stuff. I just like notice it off the bat. I can't stop.
I didn't see any of that when I was playing.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
okay.
My settings were so low to begin with.
That's fine.
My PC could not handle the game. I had to like put out like a certainly low setting. So whatever you saw, I was seeing constantly.
Playing in 480p.
I was essentially,
Hey.
bro.
The Wii.
The
He's playing on
Wii.
Wii.
He's playing on the
You're
Wii.
dang right. It's the only way I can play the game at a decent 30, man.
Yeah.
So,
And obviously, the way I would fix this is easy. Just make the lighting better baked into the daytime and in some spots.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much it. Like, because for everything else, the cutscenes were great and all that, and nighttime was great. So, yeah. Next.
Well, there's okay. So there's this one thing I just started realizing. It's when you're like facing like against multiple people,
Mhm.
and then they keep I'm pretty sure Tayaman said this, but it's just like they keep I just fought like two wrestlers get with a security guy, and two of those wrestlers are like tossing knives at me. I'm like,
oh, I
and
remember that.
they keep constantly throwing it at him. It's like, please stop! I'm trying to fight.
I like a real
Please
player.
stop." Yes,
Real
it's
player.
like, is this even like Street Fighter 6 at this point? Why are you throwing knives at
It's
me?
Link Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, dude, that's in every fighting game. You're gonna have people who run away and then just spam.
Zoning.
Yeah.
Zoning characters.
Yeah, it's
Oh, this is more.
there's zoning and then there's spamming.
This is
These people were
these characters
spamming.
are like, if they're like together, it's just like it's more like it's like facing two NES players, just like going on and on as one. As I'm just like being put to a corner. I'm being put to this corner by all this guy's like beating my face, and I'm like trying to block for my dear life. It's like, please just stop. Let me at least fight. I want to fight. I don't want to be dealing with your stupid Molotovs or knives or wrenches at me. Just let me fight. Why didn't you fight? What kind of Street Fighter game is this?
Well, there's no rules in the streets. You fight how you have to fight.
You know what? That's true. It's just like
The streets always win.
it always does, doesn't it? But yeah, maybe at least give those characters like less throwing, like things to throw at me, or like if you're facing like multiple people, at least have one person throw a lot, like as your own projectile backup support thing, while the others are just like your something you can fight against before you go after the ranged character.
So take their turn. Take your turn before you throw something at me.
Take your turn before you
Oh,
throw
like in
anything.
movies.
Yeah, like in the movies. They come in one at a time.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's my little issue. Next.
For me, it's not. I don't really have like anything major. It's more like something I'd love to see. Specifically, let's go as a world tour mode. Honestly, I would like to see more mobility options in the open world itself. Like, I know you could use a lot of the different characters' abilities in World Tour, like, you know, Chun-Li's spinning bird kick. But, I want a few more like traversal movement options that would like be layered on top of it. Maybe something as simple as like sliding on top of cars, because it was kind of awkward where it's like I'm running full sprint towards a car, and then my character just gets stuck when it hits the car. And then it takes like a moment for the character to register, oh, there's a car there. And then you can like stand on top of it. Just like, I want like more seamless movement. Maybe throw in some like wall running, rolling, or maybe like whipping out a bike or a skateboard in the streets. Something to mix it up. Just to like make them
like Pokemon.
No, I don't know. Just like I just want more freedom in terms of the movement in the open world, because I want to be more free and fluid. Like I loved wandering and running around Metro City in Nashal, mostly because it was like interesting to see what the NPCs were doing or what they were up to. And I just want like more of a way to traverse and run through the map, a little more freedom, make the exploration just a little bit more enjoyable in terms of movement. Like I just want to be able to roll off a 100-foot building and just elbow drop a pile of gangster refrigerators, just to initiate a fight. Just keep like the in-game fighting mechanics, of course. Don't touch that stuff. What? It's just
Sounds crazy.
Yeah, I mean the game is crazy.
It is. I just like the way
You're
the way.
fighting Roombas.
Yeah, I want to fight more. I want to wall run, jump off that wall, spinning bird kick into a flying Roomba.
That'd be sick.
Well, yeah, just especially, I don't know, because it's like, especially if it's Street Fighter, just throw in a skateboard. Why not? Just like a couple more movement options would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's really my thing. There really wasn't anything too major. All right.
I can also see actually one thing to add to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you have your different masters? What if they just have, you have your moves like you were saying, but what if they had just have different mobility options? So with
Oh,
Blanca, you know how you have your Blanca ball?
yeah.
You could just like Blanca ball like to like get up to like heights like and continuously do it. But it's like basically like catered to that specific character like mobility.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I think that because like you have these masters, might as well incorporate different movement, like how you were saying, into the mobility aspect.
Yeah.
And then if your Zangis were slow, but you could crash into everything.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I like that. Yeah. Yes, I mean, they have all the in-game mechanics in there. Just use them. Give us more mobility options. Build on top of it. I think it'd be cool. Because I mean, the cities themselves, like Metro City. Maybe this is because we played Genshin, but there's like so much life in that city with all the NPCs and what they're doing. It's just entertaining, just wandering and seeing what they're up to. But yeah, just more movement options would be pretty sick. Let's move on to the final question. Question 5. What is your final verdict and final rating from 0 to 10 using a 0.5 scale?
The score that I gave this game was a 10 out of 10.
Dang, come out of the gate. Okay.
Yeah, because remember the last fighting game we played on here was not Star Wars, Power Rangers.
No,
and
I don't want to remember that.
Yeah, so that game compared to this is a masterpiece.
Jeez.
And also, I also genuinely enjoyed because you know me. I everyone, you and Nox both know I do not like fighting games personally. I don't actively play them on my own time unless someone suggested to me or something we can play. Like I don't seek out fighting games to play like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, whatever, or Tekken if that's what you prefer.
Tekken.
And I don't play fighting games. I don't play fighting games, so the fact that I actually found myself looking forward to playing this game when I got home, similar to like Doom or Resident Evil 4, to do a few levels and actually, do some stuff, it's actually kind of crazy that it shows that, I actually really did like this game for what it was. It's basically I saw it as an open world beat 'em up, and I actually had fun with some of the crazy side quests you could do and like the interactions with the characters and like how it, it was kind of fun trying to figure out, okay, how you gonna unlock them as a new master? Because I know there's ways you could approach it, and if you didn't do it right, you won't get them as a master. I'm assuming, or maybe you would. I don't know. But it was fun to meet new masters, to see their cutscenes, and how you end up getting their new abilities if you choose to go for them or not, or if you want to just add it to your roster of moves. So that was cool, and just seeing the places. Yeah, the open world aspect was fun. I loved it, and I just genuinely enjoyed it. And then I haven't tried online yet, full disclosure, but I did see some matches. I did spectate some online matches, and I did really like the fact you could actually carry your avatar into the battle hub and use your avatar to fight online. But if you just want to do it traditionally, you can also go to the fighting grounds and just play with the actual characters themselves. So it was nice to actually give you both options. And you could also describe what type of playstyle you have, whether it's classic, hybrid, or modern. I play modern, by the way. I'm not sure if I mentioned
modern
it.
Boys.
Modern over here, baby.
Dude, it's funny. I'm
3 buddy
surprised someone
combos.
mentioned that. That's like that's like a huge one. Modern.
Oh yeah.
Modern. Everyone's like, "Oh, this modern good." But yeah, so I enjoyed the game very much, and yeah, I had a fun time with it, and I enjoyed every second of World Tour and the online, and even the tutorials are all fleshed out. So it's amazing. It's very, it was mentioned they wanted to make it very accessible, and for someone who personally does not go for fighting games, if I could decide on my own, then the fact that I actually enjoyed it and actually wanted to play more of it when I got the chance,
did their job.
They did their job very well, and I enjoyed it very much. So yeah. Final score for me is a 10 out of 10, baby. Next.
All right.
So I think, as I've sort of touched on a few times, that Street Fighter 6 offers a huge amount of content. I think they've definitely done an amazing job, and I think that Street Fighter 6 is arguably one of the best fighting games that has come out and is one of the most feature-rich fighting games. You've got amazing netcode. There's a huge amount of content. The visuals are amazing. Really good sound. Love the extreme battle. There's lots of fun to be had. I know I really enjoy playing the one where you've got the balls that you have to hit back and forth and they explode, or you've
Oh,
got the modes, or you've got the modes where it's like you get this buff, but then you can't jump or you can't use certain attacks. Whatever. I think just lots of that content's really good, and the introduction of modern controls is amazing because the hill I will die on for fighting games is the fact that the online community is mostly, not mostly, but largely held up by that casual player base. If you lose a casual player base in a fighting game, especially for online, I would argue you lose a lot of the functionality of an online fighting game. So the introduction of mod controls is great. As someone who does not spend all their time, I work 3 jobs. I've got a few other things
Oh,
going on
hell.
in my life. I don't have the time to learn all the different moves and combos. And I want to get in. I'd want to play a few games. And I want to move on. And that I don't want to spend all my time having to learn all these different combos and that. However, chapter 15 for Street Fighter 6 really hampered my enjoyment of Street Fighter 6. And looking back at previous scores I've given, for example, Power Rangers, I personally feel like I scored that game too high. I gave it a score based upon the things that are there that I couldn't actually achieve. It was a little bit more complicated than Street Fighter 6 in some regards, and I gave it a score based upon that. Looking back, I shouldn't have given it because it makes this score for Street Fighter 6 look a lot worse. If I wasn't playing well to it and I was stopping when I wanted to, Street Fighter 6 would probably be like a 9.5 or whatever for me, but because of how much I hated the chapter and it made me trade in the game, based upon my pure enjoyment of the game and my desire to keep playing the game, I'm giving Street Fighter 6 a 6 out of 10. Next.
Oh, this game, Street Fighter 6, is probably like the most in love I've been with playing a fighting game in the last 7 years. I've never wanted to like only play this game when like a fighting game comes out. Usually it's like, man, I really enjoy this game, and I'll like play it.
Never touch it again.
But this one, literally, at times I'm just thinking, man, I just want to play this game later. You know, when I'm done with work or other stuff, and it's just like that's never been like a thing. Like the closest thing to this would probably either been like Tekken 7 or maybe Killer Instinct 2013. But
okay.
this game really like takes everything to the next level in terms of features and accessibility. Not only is it accessible in like different control types, which is amazing, especially like people coming from Smash Bros has that modern familiarity to Street Fighter. So I think, you know, bringing different crowds from not even just like casual crowds, just bringing different crowds from other fighting game genres to platform genres or 3D games like Tekken into Street Fighter, and just giving them different ways to approach casually, or you know, if you want to play classic, or if you just want to play later, you know, maybe you enjoy the game a lot, so you just want to take a step further. And then you have dynamic controls, which is like everyone describes it like little brother mode, where you can just mash on a button and the AI basically plays. Yeah. So like it's just great they incorporated all of this, and like it's just like this, and they incorporated all this while having to do World Tour in consideration with the modern controls and the classic controls, and also tutorials and the combo trials and character guides all go over for each control type too, which is like I can't imagine how much work that took to incorporate all this, especially with the mechanics of the drive gauge and how like they changed each character and like adjusted each character for modern controls and what works for. It's just that's like a lot of work and dedication. So I'm just very happy to see everyone enjoy this game. Like I've seen like people online from like, you know, different YouTubes or whatever who like, it's like you would never like know they would like ever play a game, like a fighting game. It's just so weird to see. Like
That's not Smash.
and I had to do something. Yeah, like it was like it was mostly the Smash. Like Smash and NetherRealm, like Mortal Kombat, were like just the pedestals of like in terms of like content and you know player base and everything. So seeing Street Fighter like finally get to that modern era of like
More like mainstream.
mainstream, especially like for like traditional fighting games, is it's just amazing to see. Like, uh, I have like all the characters or animations. Like it's like so. I think it's like one of the best 3D like animated games that I've seen. There's like so much weight to each attacks and the sound effects. It feels great. That along with like I mean, we didn't even touch on like a lot of stuff like the real time commentary features.
Oh yeah.
I know Tailman.
Okay, that's so cool. Yeah, it felt like I was actually watching a live competition, but I was actually in. I was like, what the heck is this? And the fact it's so almost like on time with what's happening on the screen was even the cooler part.
Mhm.
Like it was actually keeping up what was happening. So if you did like a low right kick into the corner and then you end up comboing, he's like, oh, he pins him against the wall. And I was like, oh, what? You know, it was so cool. Or if, like you get countered and then you get comboed in the air. Yeah, you get juggled or something. Oh, it was awesome. It was cool, and you can actually pick and select between two different commentators. So one could be speaking English, and the other one could be speaking like Japanese or something. It's the funniest thing.
Yeah, that with like subtitles. That's like I was like, wow. And then not only that, it's like the sound accessibility because there are deaf players who actually play in FGC, and you know just in general. So they added a lot of sound accessibility. So depending on like you're walking to your opponent or hit sound, or depending if you're attacking mid, high, or low, and depending on your gauge, it actually makes distinct sounds for those people who have like issues with not being able to see. So that's like awesome. Like they have so much stuff in this game. It's like crazy. Like this is like usually for a fighting game, the initial fighting game that comes out is always the worst, like the worst version. And then over the last, you know, like usually have an ultimate version like by the end, and that's when a lot of people would like pick up a game because that's like when it has the most features. But this game has that like has the ending at the beginning in terms of like features, and I would say this is like a step above a lot of like fighting games now. Like they raised a pedestal with World Tour. Like that's like all this together, and they have a great foundation like to go upon. And just the social aspect of Battle Hub, being able to actually see your other avatars is a lot because for the longest time, believe it or not, because you know, like eventually a lot of casual players leave, and you know, that's the main player base with a lot of fighting games pretty much are the core. This is nice to see for this one to keep people interested. Other avatars, so it feels more social.
Yeah,
like a lot of fighting games were just a lot of menus and stuff. So being able to actually interact and do this goofy stuff, it's awesome. There's like so much great things about this game, and the ability, of course, like Genchi mentioned earlier, the netcode. It's like I don't know how they went from like the worst repetition for rollback to like the best, but that's a blessing in itself, like being able to play against a wider audience, and it's just great to see. So I'm gonna give Street Fighter 6 a 0 out of 10.
Hold on, what?
Literally couldn't load it.
Yeah. I'm gonna give Street Fighter 6 a 9 out of 10. Of course, there are issues with the World Tour mode. Like the story could have definitely been more consistent against your rival. Of course, the textures. There's some bad textures here and there, and some pop-ins. I'm not sure if that's just like the RE engine, like but that was one thing I noticed.
No,
and
that
then
also
also
tripped me up when I saw that for the first time. RE engine, hold on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then the UX can be a little bit confusing. So that was like, so basically the user experience. There's like so many options, right? But a lot of menus can be confusing, especially for your first or like handful of times. There's like so many menus that could have been condensed.
Oh yeah, a
So
little bit
there
more
are some
streamlined.
things like they had 2 separate controls for like Battle Hub, selecting your character and like those controls, and then Fighting Ground. So that's condensing it and stuff here and there.
Cut out the fat.
Go a long way.
Cut out the
Yeah,
fat.
cutting off the fat.
Yeah.
And that is it for me. Sorry for the long talk, but
No,
like all
a
the
long
games,
talk. This is where it's supposed to happen. You know, like this is it. This is your final verdict.
This is
what people skip to. This one and number 4, and that's a fact. I have analytics. People go to 4 and 5, sometimes 3. Okay. All right. So what you got?
Oof. Oh man, I really love the wide range of the creativity in making your own characters and molding your own fight style. And there's some things here and there I just don't like dealing with like constant spamming of enemy projectiles that are like together in a way. And yeah, like as Genji said, the story is a little bit off, or it's a little bit bland, but I kind of like it. And I wish there was a bit more character development for Bosch, and a bit more of this Neo Chandelou. I'm not sure.
New shit. Oh yeah,
New Chandelou.
It's only mentioned once.
I thought it was
Neo
Shadaloo.
Yeah.
Shamalama ding dong.
Yeah, they should have. I wish they would have like broadened that story a bit more. But oh well. It's as what Genji said. This is their first time doing this. I do, and I like the engagements with other people as you go into a fight or whatnot, and how you go through it. You like, it's either you want to smack them, you either smack them, or you like introduce the fighters. That's about it as you engage the fight. Especially or if you go to other places in the world, it shows like it's like almost side scrolling, because it's the same map that you're going to be using for facing off the other masters. When you think about it. And I do like that open world map music, where it's just like the whole rap. I can just hear it in my head every time I go to it there. Yeah, it's fun. I like it. So yeah, I'm giving this game an 8.5 out of 10. Next.
Okay, Street Fighter 6, the 6th game in the franchise, complete package. God dang, it is for me. This is coming from someone who doesn't have like a whole lot of experience with fighting games. I dabble a bit in like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, just a little bit.
He's played Smash.
Yeah, I played Smash quite a bit. That's probably like my primary. Throwing some Naruto games, some One Piece, Pirate Warriors Adventure. Shout out.
I forgot those exist.
But Street Fighter 6 though, man, I honestly believe like this is an evolutionary leap for the Street Fighter franchise and just fighting games in general. I think it takes that bar of what it means to be a traditional fighting game. It grapples it, like pile drives it into the ground, proceeds to punch the crap out of it until it like redefines what it means to be strong. And after it's done, it like gives it a nice firm, manly handshake and just sets it back up on the bar, raising the bar. I mean, like Tailman said, I mean, that dude, he never touches fighting games. And the fact that he gave it a 10, there's something going on over there.
I never touch fighting games ever. Unless y'all force me to, you better play this game. I'm like, fuck, all right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that there's something very, very special here. And as a filthy modern control casual myself, I always thought of these fighting games to be pretty daunting when it came to the button combos, stick inputs, and mathematical formula equations, A, B, X, Y squared to the 5th power. I just couldn't comprehend it. But the way Street Fighter 6 approaches teaching newcomers about fighting game fundamentals and its in-game mechanics through let's be honest here, it's a 20-hour campaign, but it's actually a fighting tutorial in disguise. Throw in some killer refrigerators, some angry mascots, Blanca-chan. It's just genius how they did it. They made the campaign into its own tutorial, getting you ready to get whooped and ranked. And I really appreciate that. You can tell how much love and passion and care went into developing this game by Capcom. In fact, I could tell just by looking at some of the promo that I actually risked and staked the existence of Book Club on it. And I think I said if this game scores below, what was it, Noxo? An 8 on average? Like,
you would delete?
Yeah. Like, if the critic scores were below an 8 for this game, I would delete Book Club, but luckily it didn't. But
not yet. Give it I'll get some calls real quick.
The user scores, that's its own controversy. We're not going to go into that. But
no.
This game is just freaking oozing with style, from its menus to the character selection screens to the amazing music and the clean, but sometimes dirty, if you're into that, if you know what I mean. The fighting animations, they're very smooth and crisp. Add that to the surprisingly in-depth character creation and customization, just the robust multiplayer options, the classic arcade mode, and the fact that I don't even know why they did this, but I appreciate it. They fully coded in the Capcom arcade classics and they freaking built it into the game itself. You can go onto any. It's just, I'm just like, man, you not only have yourself one heck of a fighting game, but it's just a video game in general. This is no longer a fighting game. This is just a really good video game, and the game is loaded, stuffed crust loaded. And thank you, Capcom. Thank you so much for giving us the ability to modify our gear early on, in-game appearance. We can customize our stats, but we don't have to hinder our style. You can actually change how it looks. And if you're listening to me, next Monster Hunter game that is secretly under development, because I know you're down there, let us customize early too, dang it. I don't want to have to play 70 hours of Monster Hunter just to get customization, but that's its own thing.
Oh, man.
Wrapping it up here, I know the game isn't perfect. I feel like it could use a few more quality of life options, like the ability to select a mission and the map automatically marking it for you, aka the basic submission select in most games. It's missing that. Like I said before, a few mobility options would be nice. And I don't know why, but it really would have been amazing to see more involvement from the Street Fighter masters in the World Tour. It would have been sick if your max leveled master, Chun-Li, I see you, if you were there present in the final tournament watching your greatest student kick butt, but you weren't there. I'm really disappointed. Besides that, though, it doesn't. Yeah, I'm just man, can you imagine if any masters that you max rank with, they're actually in the tournament cheering you on?
Yeah, they would show up.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Or actually influence how.
Yeah, why not?
Fate of Bosch's demise, maybe.
Yeah, maybe I would love to have seen more involvement, because like Nuxo said, this is the most fleshed out these characters have been, and it's a really missed opportunity that they're not,
especially when they
more
text
involved.
you. It kind of
yeah.
It also sort of reflects how their personality is.
Exactly.
It's pretty cool.
It's
especially how Ryu is trying to text and he's just wondering how it works.
They're doing all this stuff through the text and everything. It's almost like they went 60% of the way, 60-70% of the way with the character involvement, and then it's just they're oh well, they kind of push you to the side now. You're done. Cutscene over.
You also characters. Maybe you had masters at different spots.
Yeah, throughout the city in the day, they're doing their day-to-day thing. Yeah, just things like that. I'm really hoping to see I'm hoping that they build upon the World Tour mode.
They are definitely building upon it with each character added and feature updates. So I expect a lot of stuff by the end of this game to hopefully have a lot of fixes,
feedback, and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, that's just my hope. They continue to push and develop World Tour even further, and they just don't abandon it. That's my biggest fear, is they abandon it, and I don't think it'll happen.
They said beforehand they're going to keep working on World Tour for the duration of the game.
Okay, good. I'll keep playing then. But
I'm not sure what they're going to add into the World Tour.
Yeah. So for my final score, Street Fighter 6 gets 9 questionable Steam character mods for Juri, Cammy, and Chun-Li out of 10. The game really made me feel like Nakusa was kicking my ass 1v1 in person, since the online is practically lag-free, unlike Super Smash Brothers. So
Is it really? I gotta try that now, man.
Dude, it's so good. It's almost like he's there, literally punching you in the face.
I gotta try that on one day then.
I could just feel Nakusa's fist hitting my upper jaw. It's crazy. But yeah, that is my final verdict. So with that said, Street Fighter 6 gets our final average rating of 85% or 42.5 out of 50. Thank you guys for coming out and playing Fighting the Streets. But enough of that.
No.
Tailman, do you know what time it is, my boy?
It's time to beat the streets. It's time for the bonus mystery question.
Bonus mystery question time. Bonus mystery questions were prepared ahead of time by everyone here, but no one knows who or what will be asking the question. I'm looking at you, Mini Fridge. You probably have a question for us. So I'm going to swap over to the other screen. I'm going to stream it for you guys so you can see. Spinning the wheel in 3, 2, 1, spin.
Why does that wheel look kind of unequal?
Oh, shoot.
Hey, it's me. For once.
Wow. Well done. Congrats, Soul. Congrats, man. So,
Nice.
Okay.
what is your bonus mystery question, Soul?
Okay. If you were going to be a Street Fighter character, what would be your and you're going to be the master? What would be your fighting style?
Okay.
So no
All right.
weapon?
No weapon.
No weapon this time. So,
However, I will add ranged attacks like Hadouken and stuff like that.
I can't bring a
No
Glock.
weapons.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes. And super arts are in the table as well.
What was it?
Super arts.
What is that?
Your special
specials.
moves, the special moves.
Oh, okay.
So, what's our fighting
It's called it
style
right
and
trigger.
who's our master in real life? Or what does this apply to?
If we were to be a
Yes.
master, what would our style be?
Oh, if
Yes.
we were to be a master.
Yes.
Oh, and so pretty much what would we be teaching in the
Yeah,
fighting
run
school
away.
of
And
Tailman?
it could reflect your it could be your personality as well, probably.
I hear
Okay.
you. I'll just teach you to run away. The lawsuit ain't worth it.
All right.
I'm using a
That's
weapon,
the question.
but we can't use weapons.
No weapons.
What? That's part of my. Oh, what? That's my way to express myself, though. My fighting
What
style.
is this? Street Fighter 5? What is it?
Hey, okay. To be fair, doesn't Lily have 2 boomerang things?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
has
Right.
Yeah, she has a weapon. That dude
JP has a staff.
Yeah, JP has a
Has a
staff.
string.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Let,
you're right.
let me have it. Let me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Kimberly tosses grenades at you. Like, what?
Okay.
Spray paint
paint
cannon
cans.
bombs.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, she does.
She sprayed it in my eye. Okay.
She did, and I couldn't see for 3 weeks straight. I see her and I won.
Okay. So they're on the table then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and start the 60-second timer for us to think.
So weapons are allowed. Okay.
Weapons are allowed. 60-second timer starting now.
Raised by the savages, know you couldn't handle this. Everyone who battled me, they falling like an avalanche. Got them falling back to back, take them all just hand in hand. Y'all going home, so better pack your bags. I'm a heavy hitter, come take a sip of this potion. Float like a butterfly, I'm floating like the ocean. Battle cries of music to my ears, I'm the composer. Y'all can never hurt me, got you wilting like your roses. Bring your best man, I'm spinning like a cellophane. Climb to the top of all mountains. Make me the boss of all bosses. Climb to the top of all mountains. Make me the boss of all bosses. Better, I'm stronger, I'm faster, okay?
If I were a master, all right. Here, you know what's about to go down. All right, everyone's gonna be packing some heat. All right. I've been watching a lot of John Wick lately. All right, so it's basically gun food is what I'm teaching. Throwing hands, nah, we throwing lead, homie. You better hope you got your fast reactions ready. So, yeah, basically, if you got getting close, sure, you can do some pretty good, decent, hand-to-hand combat, keep them down. But nah, the bread and butter is the guns, man. They don't expect it. They're gonna be like, I'm ready to fight. Pop. Done, dusted. I'm gonna make Metro City scary again, but legally.
But legally.
Wait, did you say legally or illegally?
Legally, because technically everyone's down to fight. You didn't say how.
Exactly. Victory at any
That's
cost.
true. Victory
this
at
time,
any
though-
cost.
Welcome to the new
Yeah.
streets.
Yeah, the new streets, they don't have no rules. They said you could fight and win. They didn't say how you had to do it, and they didn't, especially didn't say someone had to live after it. So
You know what? You're not wrong.
Oh my
yeah, so there we
god.
go. Basically, gun fu is what I'm teaching. And you
Okay.
better hope you don't pick the wrong person to fight. That's it. It's a wrap.
Oh, boy.
I want to see them Hadouken their way out of this one.
I just imagine you just like start. Okay, you're gonna be using you're gonna start using dual pistols. Now
Yeah.
now when you're done with that, you're gonna start using assault rifles.
Yeah,
You'll
pretty
still
much.
You'll be using it as a step or something
Gun
like that.
fu though, man.
Once you get back to the final tournament, JP never stood a chance.
Are you just gonna another dumb tactic is like John Wick 3. It's just like where he just throws the rifle at the enemy. You're gonna teach him that one.
Your melee weapon's a pencil. Make the most out of it.
Oh my god!
Write this down, fool.
Is that like when you're punching, you're firing at the same time?
You can if you want.
Or is this
yeah.
literally like John Wick where it's just like CQC style?
EQC or firearms, depending on if you want to get close or stay. Basically, it's like a mixture of close range or projectile based, or as they call what's zoning or something. Typically, you're intended for close range, but you do have a gun if you need to use it, though. You know,
Okay.
keep them back a little.
Okay.
Imagine inspiration, kind of like Fox from Melee or Brawl, and similar to I forgot his name, the one in Mortal Kombat. What's his name? Was it Casey? No, Aaron Black. Aaron Black, kind of mixture between those two, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah, with a little John Wick sprinkled in there, so you have to have the pencil at least. So.
Oh, okay. Your finisher.
Yeah, there we go.
No, it should be pen instead of pencil.
I like it. I
It
like
should
it.
be a pen instead of pencil, Tailman, because I think pencil's already been copy or trademarked by
Oh, shoot, you're right.
filmmakers of John Wick.
Well, you being serious? Oh, that's right. Yeah. A pen.
Crayola marker.
Give him. Crayola. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'd be teaching. Just basically win at any cost, really.
Okay. I like it.
All right. Yeah. Next.
Well, I thought that I've got my experience in retail, I've got experience dealing with children, so I could have drawn on a number of them for my fighting experience. Because I have had to be in a fight with a customer before, but we'll go for the classic band from Down Under. So I'm going to draw on my Aussie experience, and when you
Alright.
enter a fight with me, the world flips upside down because
Oh, no.
I'm from Down Under, so you have to fight me backwards. Because
Whoa,
we've got
that's
lots of
pretty
scary
good.
spiders, I'm going to swing around the screen like a spider with its webs. Because it's hot as fuck here in summer, I'm going to shoot lots of tasty fireballs. And my ultimate is going to be me throwing you onto the Barbie like a shrimp. The move will be called the shrimp on the Barbie.
Dang. Original. Classic. I like it.
When you want to go down under, he just brings it down under to you. I guess.
Dang. Genji's top tier fighter.
Yeah, most definitely.
Environmental change upon starting the fight. Oh,
God.
man.
He's literally changing the world.
I'm literally changing the world, and there is nothing you can do to stop it.
Dang.
I mean, well, yeah, I don't think we
I
can
will do that.
You're gonna be there's gonna be some chaos going on here for about several years, but I don't think that matters at this point. No. Maybe the orbital path is gonna be off, but oh well, who cares?
All you have to do is beat me up in order to get rid of it. But because we'll be upside down, every single one of your things will have to be the reverse.
Dang.
Oh no!
Ooh, reverse controls too. That's horrible.
Reverse controls fighting Genji.
Reverse controls. It's
Oh
Oh,
god. Okay.
terrifying.
Oh boy, is there a limit? Is there a certain time that it goes away, or it's just
No.
stuck like that?
Until he's beaten. Until you beat him.
Until you beat me, because I am from down under, so it is reversed until you beat me.
Oh
And the best
boy,
part
that's
is because it's best 2 out of 3, you might have to do it 2 times in a row.
God dang.
oh god,
Dang, that's two pens in the eyes in a row. All right.
oh god. Well, I'm gonna be losing.
Oh man.
Okay, take away Nakutsu. What scary thing have you come up with?
Okay. Wow. I came up with the most degenerate character imaginable that everyone would hate to fight against.
Oh no, he's
So,
gonna be spamming, isn't he?
so my character is it's this physical, so I'm just using my fist. However, my character is also a grappler. I gotta
Ooh,
check off these boxes of what people hate to fight against online. Not
good.
only that, my character uses fireballs. So if I want to switch it up, if I just want to stay in the back, I can. So you have two archetypes there, and then both of these. In order for my fireballs to even be better, it's a charge. My character is a charge/motion hybrid. So I have great fireballs, and I can also grab you. And then, not only that, my super art 1. This is a grab, but this grab makes it so you side switch. So if you're in the corner, you use the super art, you're going to do a lot of crap ton of damage, and also put your opponent in the corner.
Broken.
So already this character is an A tier. Where raises it to S though, super art 2. So I took a picture, and this picture I used to cancel someone. So like most fighting games, especially the Smash community, there's a lot of pictures that you can actually take because there's a lot of canceling in that community. Also, a lot of stinky people. But Super Hard 3. Oh shit! I gotta be careful. Tommy's got the shorts ready.
No, he does.
Okay, Super Hard 3. So this was just it's a standard barrage of attacks, but at the end, I throw a pair of glasses that explode. Then after they explode, I put on a new pair. And for my location, I'm just in a cave. I'm in the dankest cave that you can find because the most degenerate person would actually learn this playstyle. So
most degenerate in the cave.
No. That's so cracked, bro. I would not want to know.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if your super art is gonna do damage or it's just gonna make him go stunned for a while. I can't tell.
My God.
And that's it for me. How about you, Soul?
Okay, so
Yeah,
I like
what you got?
I like wielding dual weapons, like dual melees, like swords or daggers, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more of, but I sometimes use like other equipments like flashbangs or something like that. I'm more of a discombobulator and more of a agile striker, or like or more for mobility and disorienting your enemies. And for my first super art, it's just going to be like a flurry of slashes or a flurry of slashes, which does light damage, but it's fat. It's kind of fast. The second one, I haven't thought of that. Maybe it's just like a flash here and like a good flash, and then just like, frick, I haven't thought of that far yet.
But this is your question.
I know, that's the thing. I had it too.
Okay.
Or it's just like it's a flash and then just like a fake punch in an uppercut, like a strong uppercut, and a flurry of kicks just up in the air. And then for my third one, I think it's just a flurry of slashes, or it's just a one charge slash, like one heavily slash that just like takes a good chunk of your health. As where I'm at, let's see. I always sometimes draw beaches sometime, or like a good scenery of areas. So probably like looking out in the cliff, overlooking the ocean or a city. So yeah. Next.
Okay. Mine's pretty easy. I have to come up with a name for this, don't I? Big ass sword jitsu. There you go. Let's go with that. Welcome to Big Ass Sword Jitsu. So, just picture this: a giant big ass sword in the ground, and your character fights near it. You know, hand to hand combat, kicks, punch, all in the might, whatever you gotta do. And then as he attacks, and as for finishers and combos, you can swing the blade very, very slow, and it's very obvious that you're doing it. So it's people can obviously play around it, but if you get hit by it, that blade, that sword, is powered by the weight of disappointment, powered by Blizzard Entertainment. So if you get hit by that blade, you are instantly dead. You can't block it or anything. You have to stop the character, the one who's using big ass sword jitsu, from actually swinging that blade. But I mean, it can be interrupted with like a normal hit or a projectile. So it's easy to counterplay. But if that hit lands, all of Blizzard's evil karma that had coming to them, it's gonna completely crush you in one hit. Amen.
So I'm guessing you're gonna have like super armor, but it's gonna take a while for you to get damaged, I guess.
Oh no! Just like how Blizzard's flimsy in their decision making. When you get hit when you're swinging this big sword, and anything can stop you from swinging it. Like there's no super armor involved. There's no more armor available, dude. Blizzard's got nothing left. So yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Okay.
I'm just calling it like I see it. But yeah,
Mercy.
that blade.
You're glass cannon, though.
Yeah, basically, just don't let the other player get that swing off, and you'll be okay. And that's my fighting style: big ass sword jitsu.
Taken out by one light punch.
Yeah, trademark, dude. Trademark. Click on the link description box below for merch.
Not merch.
But you gotta buy the battle pass first.
My G Fuel. Oh, battle pass.
You gotta buy that battle pass first to unlock the store. Okay.
Annoying.
But yeah, thank you, Soul, for the bonus mystery question. Thank you, man.
No problem.
And before we continue, as a quick reminder, there will be no wheel spin this time to determine the next VGBC game, since the VGBC for Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is currently ongoing and is about 4 weeks away from the time of this podcast being recorded. However, kind of like I explained to everyone here, any nominations that were made will be carried over to the next VGBC game. So even though Tailman and Soul are probably not going to be playing Zelda, their nominations will be on the wheel when we spin at that time. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. This concludes this episode of VGBC. If you enjoyed this podcast, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Patreon, whatever platform you can find us on. Links in the description box below. That said, take care, have a good one, and we will catch you the next episode of Video Game Book Club. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Never realized how much I miss with you not being there by my side. No one there to tell me all the right from wrong.